Israel's prime minister has ordered his army to launch more attacks in the southern suburbs of Beirut. The military has just issued forced displacement threats for residents in that area. It comes a day after its ground forces expanded their invasion in the south, reaching their deepest point in the country in 26 years. Meanwhile, many people are fleeing Beirut's southern suburbs in response to those threats from Benjamin Netanyahu. Israel's expanded occupation of Lebanon and relentless strikes have drawn sharp criticism from Tehran. Iran's foreign minister says violations of the ceasefire on one front are violations on all fronts. And earlier on Monday, Tehran stressed that a truce in Lebanon is an integral part of any deal with the U.S. Tehran also said that the diplomatic process is being held up by a lack of trust and by Washington's contradictory positions. Let's go to Almigdad Alruhaid now, who's in the Iranian capital of Tehran for us. Almigdad, Iran's foreign minister has said that a violation on one front of the ceasefire with the U.S. is going to be considered a violation on all fronts of the ceasefire. So how big of an issue is this escalation in Lebanon going to become for the talks between the U.S. and Iran?
Well, actually, it's a sensitive situation here and a fragile situation actually between both sides, especially with all that fronts right now being in escalatory tensions between both sides. What we have been hearing here from the morning is a very coordinated messaging line across foreign ministry, military establishment and senior figures, but at the same time does not amount to an official declaration of that the ceasefire has completely collapsed between both sides. But at the same time, the message from foreign Minister Abbas Araqdi made it clear and explicit that the violation of ceasefire on one front constitutes the violation of the entire agreement between both sides, and also made it clear the spokesperson of foreign ministry saying that there is no confidence right now. There is no confidence between both sides, and right now we are halting we are not going with negotiations with that confidence because there is no confidence on the ground. And the same message, also a very strong message, came from the military establishment. The spokesperson of army said that and warning Israel of the ongoing strikes on southern Lebanon, and says that there's a heavy casualties between civilians, and warning that they cannot tolerate that if that continue. And also a very important message from Mohammed Baqir Qalibaf made it clear that what is going on right now is what he called non-compliance with the agreement between both sides that were signed on late April.
Okay, Almigdad, stay with us because I want to go further into what you said there about the lack of confidence that the two sides have in these negotiations at the moment. Iran's foreign ministry spokesperson Ismail Baghai says the lack of trust and the U.S. consistently changing its position is what's delaying the diplomatic process here. He was speaking at a press conference in Tehran.
In such a situation, and under circumstances in which the opposing side constantly changes its positions, puts forward new or contradictory demands, and issues different and inconsistent media messages, it's natural that this situation leads to a prolongation of the negotiation process. To this must be added the disruptive actor that has always obstructed any process aimed at reducing tensions in our region, namely the Zionist regime. One of the clear reasons for the escalation of the crimes of the Zionist regime in Lebanon in recent days can be nothing other than undermining of any possible prospect for diplomatic processes to lead to some form of improvement in the situation.
Okay, Almigdad, so Iran has been saying a lot about what it believes to be the block in this process, but has it been saying anything about where talks go from here or how to bridge that trust, that lack of confidence?
Well, actually, basically, they are demanding a core and fundamental demands. This what we have been hearing from Ismail Baghai, from the top negotiator Mohammed Baqir Qalibaf. He mentioned also the naval blockade and the ceasefire and the situation on the southern Lebanon and situation on the Strait of Hormuz. All of that amount to what they called a violation of ceasefire, and they are right now demanding what they called a tangible verification on the ground. For the United States, basically, it's a precondition to lift its its blockade and also to halt a ceasefire and also to halt the what they call the aggression on the southern Lebanon, and to move forward with all that. They are demanding ending the war on all fronts with agreement that signed with the United Nations Security Council resolution and binding to that. So this is the core demand right now. But at the same time, we are seeing that there is an escalatory tension in the Strait of Hormuz. Just this morning, we have seen an attack that the IRG says that we have been attacked in the area of Sirik, which is in southern Iran, and we have seen that in the past few days, in the past 10 days, actually 2 times or 3 times, that the foreign ministry accused the United States of violation the ceasefire, especially on the vicinity of the Strait of Hormuz and the city of Bandar Abbas and Qishm Island and all that cities overlooking the Strait of Hormuz. Adding to that, the escalatory tension right now ongoing on the southern Lebanon. This came with a strong message from all that sectors. So right now we are talking about a precondition for Iranian to move forward with the negotiation, which is definitely the naval blockade to be lifted, the cessation of hostilities here in Iran, and also the cessation of hostilities in the southern Lebanon as a core and a fundamental demand for Iranian.
Almigdad Alruhaid reporting live for us in Tehran. Thank you, Almigdad.